"Just let it go, Elaine," he whispered. "Don't wait." Then he walked inside. He lost his license. He lost his reputation. He lost me. Or at least I thought he did. 6 months later, I was sitting in a diner across from his brother, Thomas. Thomas had always been the volatile one, the gambler, the one who needed rescuing. Robert was the savior. But when the auditor found the missing money from the trust fund, Thomas somehow walked away clean and Robert took the weight of it. "It's better this way, Elaine," Thomas said, stirring his coffee. He wouldn't look me in the eye. "Rob's strong. He can handle prison. He's got a code." A code. I looked at Thomas then, really looked at him. He was wearing a new watch, expensive leather, driving a car he shouldn't be able to afford. And Robert was sitting in a cell, refusing appeals, refusing visitors. The pieces didn't fit. Robert would never steal. He would never lie, but he would sacrifice himself. He would bleed out if it meant stopping the bleeding for someone else. He served 18 months, good behavior. When they released him, I was the only one there. It was raining, that cold, gray drizzle that soaks into your bones. He got into my car, smelling of institutional soap and despair. He had nothing. The house was gone. The savings were seized. He was 50 years old, starting at zero. "Where to?" I asked. He didn't answer. He just pointed to the glove box. "Open it," he said. Inside was a single folded piece of paper, not a legal document, not a will. It was a key, a safety deposit box key. Taped to it was a set of coordinates scrawled in Robert's handwriting. "Drive," he said. His voice was different, harder. "To the storage facility on Route 29. I drove. The tension in the car was thick enough to choke on. I kept glancing at him. He was scanning the side mirrors, checking the cars behind us. We didn't go home. We didn't go to a motel. We went to a dusty, self-storage unit in the industrial part of town. He cut the lock, rolled up the door, and stepped inside. It was empty, except for a single duffel bag in the center of the concrete floor. Robert walked over, unzipped it, and pulled out a stack of cash, thick bundles, $100 bills, and a gun. My heart stopped. I backed away. "Robert." "SHH," he snapped. He looked at the door, then back at me. "Thomas didn't just frame me, Elaine. He didn't just steal the money. He borrowed it from people who don't give bail." The survival instinct kicked in then. The air in the unit suddenly felt very dangerous. "The money I supposedly embezzled." Robert shoved a stack of cash into my hand. "I didn't take it. I was hiding it. If Thomas found it, he'd be dead. And if they found it, they'd kill him to get to it. So we ran. We didn't check into a hotel under our names. We drove west, into the backroads of West Virginia, then down into the Smokies. That first night in that cheap motel room with the flickering neon sign outside, I understood what losing everything really meant. It wasn't the house. It was the safety of ignorance. Robert was in the bathroom, washing the grime of the prison off his hands. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, clutching that bag of cash. That's when the knock came. 3 sharp raps, not the maid, not room service. Robert froze, water dripping from his elbows. He turned off the faucet with a slow, deliberate click. He motioned for me to get into the bathroom. I crept into the tub, pulling the shower curtain shut. I heard the door creak open. Heavy footsteps, 2 men. The floorboards groaned under their weight. "You think he's stupid," a voice said, gruff, deep. "He didn't do 5-star time, he did hard time, he knows the rules." Robert walked out of the bathroom. I could see his shadow through the gap in the curtain. He wasn't shaking anymore. "He's not here," Robert said. His voice was steady, calm. "Liar, we saw his wife's car." "You saw a car," Robert said, "but you didn't see him, because the man you're looking for doesn't exist anymore." My breath hitched. I pressed my hand over my mouth. "Where's the money, Rob?" "It's gone," Robert said. "I burned it." Silence. A gun cocked. I heard the scuffle, the heavy thud of a body hitting the wall, a groan. I wanted to scream. I wanted to call 911, but my phone was in the bedroom. I was trapped in a bathtub with a shower curtain that offered about as much protection as a paper towel. Crash. The sound of glass breaking, a grunt of pain. Then 2 gunshots. Boom, boom. Silence. I don't know how long I stayed there. 5 minutes, an hour. Finally, the curtain was pulled back. Robert was standing there. Blood was trickling from a cut on his forehead, soaking his white collar. His hands were red. He looked down at me, huddled in the porcelain tub, clutching the cash like a lifeline. "We have to go," he said. He held out a hand. "Now." We stepped over the bodies. I didn't look down. I forced myself to keep my eyes forward on the exit sign, on the rain-slicked pavement outside. We got in the car. He didn't turn on the headlights. He just drove, merging onto the highway, blending into the dark stream of trucks and silence. "They'll find us," I whispered. My voice was shaking so hard I could barely get the words out. "Thomas found us. They found us." "No," Robert said. He reached over and squeezed my knee. His grip was tight, possessive. "Thomas didn't send them. Thomas is the one who told them where the money was supposed to be. When he couldn't deliver, they sent the cleaners." He glanced in the rearview mirror. "We aren't running from the law, Elaine. We're running from the people who think we have the ticket to their survival." I looked at the duffel bag on the floorboard. "But you do have it," I said. "You have the money." "This," Robert kicked the bag, "this isn't money, this is paper." He reached over and unzipped a side pocket. He pulled out a small, black ledger. "This," he said, tapping the book, "is the money, every transaction, every bribe, every name Thomas ever dealt with. The cartel, the politicians, the local cops." I stared at him. "You took the fall," I said, the realization hitting me like a physical blow. "You went to prison to hide this." "If I produced this in court, I would have been dead in a week," Robert said. "I had to make them think I was broken. I had to make them think I was just a disgraced lawyer who stole a few million and hid it in a box. They wanted the cash. They didn't care about the proof." "But now," I asked, "now they know. They know I'm out, and they know I lied about burning the cash." Robert pulled into a roadside gas station. The clock on the dash read 3:00 a.m. "They're going to come for Thomas," he said, "and they're going to come for us, because as long as we have that ledger, we're a liability." He turned to me then. The flickering overhead light caught the scars on his knuckles, the exhaustion etched deep into his face. He lost everything, the house, the career, the respect of the town. But looking at him now, I realized he hadn't lost his mind. He had let everything else burn so that this one thing, this one piece of truth, could survive. "I have a choice, Elaine," he said softly. "I can take this ledger to the U.S. attorney in Charlotte, but that means testifying. It means living in witness protection for the rest of our lives. No more friends, no more home, just running." "Or," I asked. "Or we give it back," he said. "We give the ledger to them, hope they let us walk away and disappear." He opened the car door. The cold air rushed in, smelling of rain and gasoline. "We can't go back to who we were," he said, looking out at the dark horizon. "That woman who drank tea on the porch, that man who played golf on Sundays, they're gone." He looked at me, his eyes searching my face for an answer I wasn't sure I had. "We can run," he whispered, "or we can fight, but we have to decide before the sun comes up." I looked at the black book in his lap. I looked at the blood on his shirt. He lost everything to keep this secret. And now, the weight of that secret was sitting in my hands. Robert started the engine. The hum vibrated through the seat. "Left or right, Elaine?" he asked. "Charlotte or nowhere?" I put my hand on the door handle. The rain was coming down harder now, blurring the world outside into streaks of gray and red. I looked at him, and for the first time in 20 years I saw exactly who he was. "Drive," I said. But as we pulled onto the highway, merging into the darkness, I couldn't help but wonder, if we run, are we still the good guys? Or have we just become the very thing we're running from? The odometer climbed. The night stretched out, endless and unforgiving, and somewhere in the distance behind us the past was closing in.